perception of reality, of cells and atoms. Everything that we see, that we perceive to believe, is a rule and nothing but formula, created in our mind and brain to perceive things to be real. When everything is broken down, all that is left is cells and atoms. When we look down into the solid fixture of the being, is nothing but cells and atoms. Atoms are invincible until seen through a microscopic glass, which are see-through. They are conscious, alive with memory, but with no free will. Therefore, man is able to control his atoms and bend it to mankind's will. They have been formed, deformed, reconstructed, constructed, and even the atoms have been dipped into color to create objects and things such as tables and chairs and doors and bricks and houses. Everything that we see, everything that we touch, we believe its physical, solid structure, part of the mind and brain, which has told us by processing it into our minds that it's real, but it's nothing but cells and atoms. When we touch these atoms, our mind makes it into a solid. So when we do touch, it becomes and feels like it's solid. And we confuse it with reality, when in fact everything is just based on cells and atoms. It's constantly reviving through an energy that is constantly reviving the cells and atoms, so they stay living, or to stay existing until we decide to remold, destroy, or reshape it, like a simple form of a tree. Billions of atoms and cells, they just live consciously with memory and communication, unable to move with free will, with a different frequency level that is not so familiar to mankind, and the energy to keep surviving is in the cells until the end of the tree's life. So we perceive to be real because atoms and cells colored and shaped, that our brain has processed into being real. Everything that we see is just made from energy and cells. Energy is reviving the cells constantly to keep it active, to keep it alive. Energy and water are the few elements of sources of life. Therefore, everything that we see is based among water in cells. All living creatures must have some form of water within the bodies or cells or structure. Even clouds are made with these particles and cells and atoms that contain the water, which form the clouds to make the rain. Therefore, water exists in solid objects and within metal, plastic, and stone. Perhaps this is the reason why the driest deserts still manage to contain living organisms, animals, creatures, insects, and plants, with just a few drops of water. The desert can come back alive to those living creatures. Perhaps the water is already there. It just needed access or to be converted into water and energy.